In December 2023, it was reported that ChatGPT had over 100 million weekly active users. So when I was going in to do my talks and workshops, I always started by asking people, tell me how you're using ChatGPT. And often I would hear things like writing emails, drafting letters of recommendation, or social media posts. And while this is definitely where many of us start, it is barely scratching the surface. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 examples that will show you why AI tools like ChatGPT can be a much more powerful member of your team and do a lot more than just draft emails and write social media posts. Hi everyone, I'm Saba and I'm the CEO of Designing Schools. And on this channel, I help you learn the skills and mindsets that are going to give you a human advantage in an AI world. So hit subscribe for insights and strategies for how to be irreplaceable in a world with AI. Now, I want you to picture this. You've just onboarded a new hire, your new assistant, someone who can draft emails while you're out for a walk simply by dictating it to them. Or somebody who can create your lesson plans for you, somebody who can generate study guides, help you customize that resume and cover letter, help coach you and give you advice, generate surveys, analyze the results, set goals, build strategic plans no matter what you're trying to do, code a new app, program, build a new entrepreneurial venture. No matter what industry you're in or what your role is, there is so much that ChatGPT can do to help you. Now, before I get into the examples, I want to be able to share 2 really important things to keep in the back of your head anytime you're using this tool. Number 1, the free version is like working with a 4th grader. Yes, it has some knowledge. It can't really handle a lot of information. It likes to be right all the time, but doesn't like to tell you when it doesn't really know something. So maybe it's going to make something up. Basically, the free version is limited in its capabilities. The paid version, however, is more like working with a seasoned professional. They're better at analytical and reasoning skills. They're much more concise, have more experience. They can handle more knowledge. They're connected to the internet, so they're up to date with everything. It has data to be able to draw on, and because of its ability to analyze things, can actually do data analysis for you and give you better results. So if you are somebody who is responsible for building out the AI strategy in your organization, or you want to be that AI person in your organization, or you're just simply somebody who wants to be ahead of the curve and have a competitive edge in your career, then I would definitely encourage you to consider paying the $20 a month to be able to get the full suite of features from ChatGPT. And this is something that I predict people will be doing forever. You know, if there may be some people that will, but it's not going to be long before we all have enterprise version tools of ChatGPT that are integrated into all of our different applications, from our email to our documents to our slideshow presentations to our data analysis tools. But by making the investment in yourself in this tool, you again are going to be that person who is ahead of the curve. The people playing with the free version are really only looking at a text-based tool and are very limited in the scope and understanding of what's actually possible. And so a lot of times you'll hear people say things like, oh, it's really not that smart, like, oh, it can't really do a lot of things. And that's because they don't have access to the full range of capabilities. Whereas people who are playing in the paid version, who are experimenting with different tools, are really seeing that this is a lot more powerful than people might be letting on, which means we need to be doing everything we can to build up our human advantage and look at, okay, if AI can do this, what are the things I should be focused on and what are the skills I should be building? And that's really important because by making this investment, you're going to be building AI skills that help you instead of hurt you. Because yes, it can hurt you as well. Just last year, we had a really popular saying that AI won't replace you, but a person using AI will. Fast forward to now, and it's becoming really clear that using AI incorrectly could actually cost you your job. So you don't want to be that person. You definitely don't want people in your organization to be those people either, which brings me now to number 2. We don't want to take our 20th century practices and use them with 21st century tools. The opportunity with AI and other technologies is that we're able to do things that we couldn't do before. To not just do things better, but to do better things. And the only way we can really make that transition in how we work and live is if we start by asking why. And here's the perfect example. Have you ever wondered why we work 40 hours a week? Did someone in the past just like throw a dart at a board with a number and land it on 40? Not quite, but the real story is actually pretty interesting, and I hope inspires you to know that nothing's ever set in stone. Back in the Industrial Revolution, working 10 to 16 hours a day was the norm, often in pretty awful conditions. And it was the labor movement that started pushing for shorter hours. And then came along Henry Ford in the 1920s, yes, the car person. He introduced the 5-day 40-hour work week for his employees, believing that too many hours were actually counterproductive. Now, back then, 40 hours was groundbreaking, this huge milestone, and it really helped shape the modern work culture that we know and have today, especially after this became the law in the US in 1938. But guess what? We don't live in the 20th century anymore. So once again, it is time to start asking, why are we sticking to this century-old standard? With AI tools like ChatGPT, it's time that we start challenging the norm and asking why we do things the way we do. And that's really when you begin to see the power of your AI tools. So to help you answer this why, it's really important to have some examples that we can use to show how we can work better and faster and do things more efficiently. So let's go ahead and get into these examples to start rethinking how we live, work, and learn, and have some fun along the way. So the first example I want to share with you is all about strategic planning and decision making. Let's face it, meetings can be incredibly inefficient. We have all been there, whether they are in person or remote. The endless discussion, the ideas bouncing around, no clear direction. These inefficient ways of leading meetings really make people feel like their organization is slow to change and just bring down morale and enthusiasm. One of my favorite tools for efficient planning and decision making is something called the Lightning Decision Jam. It's one of many design thinking methods that really cuts through the chaos of collaboration, the endless annoying brainstorms, and really helps people focus on solutions rather than problems. And when you learn how to facilitate design thinking practices like this, it is your unique human advantage. And what makes you irreplaceable is pairing it with AI. Now, this takes about 60 minutes, and it's especially helpful when you have a topic like AI, which can feel so overwhelming to so many people. This exercise, the Lightning Decision Jam, helps people focus on what matters most so that you know what step 1, step 2, step 3 are in your strategic planning process as you are working towards whatever that goal is, and really helps teams and people prioritize where to put their focus and their efforts. Now, we're going to get to the AI part, don't you worry, but it's really not just AI alone that's going to give you the human advantage. It's going to be pairing AI and using AI alongside these different techniques to bring together this really powerful combination. One of my favorite quotes that I have been sharing all the time that really highlights why this matters is from Don Norman. He says, "A brilliant solution to the wrong problem is worse than no solution at all, so solve the right problem." Okay, so let's say the Lightning Decision Jam was a leadership team thinking about how AI can be integrated into their organization. After a session like this, the room is usually filled with Post-it notes, each representing the ideas, the different solutions, and all the different ideas that were uncovered during the meeting. And now this is where ChatGPT can be really, really helpful because, of course, we're not going to be doing the work of summarizing, analyzing, and figuring out all the things that come next. So here's what we're going to do because we don't want to leave our ideas and all of these different thoughts hanging. And we're going to put ChatGPT to use as the newest member on our team. So instead of spending hours organizing all these notes, you can simply take a photo and upload it into ChatGPT. So let me show you how simple and powerful it can be to have ChatGPT analyze these notes for you, summarize the key ideas, and even help you structure all of these different thoughts into a strategic plan to decide step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's an example of how you might prompt ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you how I would do this using my Spark framework. So we're going to start by outlining the situation we're addressing, the problem we're trying to solve, and then we are going to share our aspiration. Ideally, what is it that we are trying to achieve? Next, we're going to define the result that we're aiming for, and finally, my favorite, Kismet. Kismet is all about asking ChatGPT, What am I missing? What haven't I considered in this entire planning process? And it's a really crucial step in preventing any kind of oversight or missing any hidden opportunities. So let's go ahead and take the example of a school district. Let's say in our school district, the situation is that we need to modernize our teaching methods. Our problem is that teachers are really overwhelmed with administrative tasks and they can't focus enough on student engagement and the skills we know they'll need that are always being shared by the World Economic Forum. Now, our aspiration is to be able to use AI to automate administrative work and have more time for deeper learning so that our students are college and career ready and can design their future with confidence. We aim to achieve a more efficient teaching environment and improved student performance. Based on this, can you analyze and suggest what we might be missing or what we haven't considered yet in our plan to integrate AI into our school district? And with that, it is now going to generate all these results. And this is really where that back and forth conversation is going to come into play and where your prompting skills are really going to matter. This not only saves you so much time, but it also brings a level of clarity and focus that can be very hard to achieve in traditional meetings. By integrating AI like ChatGPT into the facilitation processes, we're not just streamlining meetings, we're really revolutionizing the way in which we collaborate and make decisions. So next time you're leading a meeting, think about how AI can be that additional member of your team and really help you take advantage of the collective intelligence in the room so that you can really focus on surfacing those ideas, making the conversations visible, and letting ChatGPT do the analysis, summary, and roundup all for you. Now, as you continue this conversation with ChatGPT, remember you don't always have to type. ChatGPT has vision, which is how we took the photo, and it also has voice, which means you can just speak directly into the app to be able to get whatever results it is that you want. And I actually find that sometimes using voice is way more helpful because I talk to it more like a person, not because we think AI is a person, but because when we're in that mindset of, hey, I'm talking to a member of my team, automatically you're going to stop treating it like Google and start treating it more like an actual entity that can actually be that team member for you to help with so many different areas and also help you get better results. All right, so we took a look at what we could do from the strategic planning and decision-making side. Now let's head over to the classroom and really take a look at how ChatGPT can help us create more dynamic and more engaging learning experiences. We have heard so much about cheating, and so let's take a look at how we could facilitate a shift from traditional essays and papers to more engaging and interactive projects and portfolios where, yes, writing is still a very important part of this process. Because it's so important to remember that this transition is not just about adopting a new technology or a new teaching method. It's really being able to zone in on what are those essential skills that we want to see in our students. What is it that we're actually trying to teach that is really going to give them that human advantage in an AI world? Skills like critical thinking, creativity, personal expression, resilience, imagination, courage, curiosity. And that's the type of projects and experiences we want to create where students are intrinsically motivated to learn, not just complete an assignment, turn it in, and forget all about it. And when we create experiences that give students the agency to express their unique perspectives and their ideas, they are going to be so much more invested in that experience. So let's get ChatGPT and begin creating this experience. Of course, we are always going to start with Spark. You know, Spark is not just a framework for prompting AI. Spark is a framework to prompt the human before the machine. We have to think more critically about the experiences we're trying to create. Otherwise, we're going to end up with this problem of 20th century practices with 21st century tools. It's something we've seen take place over the past decade, and it's something we don't want to repeat in the next decade to come. Now, one thing that we know about learning is that it is social. And so if you have a colleague or a friend that you want to do this with, interview each other about your sparks to see what it is you want to create. So in this example, we're going to share the situation. Let's say we have a 10th grade English teacher from California looking to align their assignment with the Common Core standards. And let's say, this particular one, let's take 10.2, which focuses on analyzing a theme or a central idea in a text and its development over the course of the text. Let's say I just watched a video sharing how I can effectively integrate AI tools in a way that aligns with design thinking principles and UDL or whatever other initiative it is you have going on. We want to make sure the project is accessible and engaging to all students. And let's say that next week we're going to start reading Animal Farm. So this is really the perfect time for me to try something new and have ChatGPT help me plan. But let's say the challenge for this teacher is that while they want to embrace these innovative teaching methods, they're not really sure what role AI can play. They're maybe also really concerned that students are going to be overly dependent on AI for the easy answers and not really develop those critical thinking skills that they know really matters. And let's also say that the teacher's not very familiar with AI. They're hesitant, they've got these concerns, they're also struggling with academic integrity, they want original student work, and there's all these challenges going through their heads. But their aspiration is to use AI in a way that complements their teaching, encourages deep learning, analysis, and fosters critical thinking. And most of all, they want their kids to have fun. They want to go beyond that traditional essay writing to something that really engages their students and encourages that original thinking. The ideal result for this teacher would be perhaps a student-driven project that allows them to explore and present a literary theme in a unique, creative way, ensuring that every single student can express their understanding in a manner that resonates with them while also allowing them to cover the standards. And of course, for Kismet, they're going to say, hey, what are 4 strategies or ideas that could help me create this learning experience? And is there anything I'm missing or anything else that I should consider? And now it's time to watch the magic happen. Now, I also want to say, yes, this is a longer prompt, but one of the things that you'll notice that we've done here is we've really contextualized. I, as a teacher or whoever you are in your role, is the expert in prompting the type of experience it is that you are looking for. One of the worst prompts I think I saw, this was like my pet peeve prompt, was I want you to act as the expert teacher, ChatGPT. And while I understand that we're trying to focus ChatGPT towards a certain spectrum, at the end of the day, you are the expert. And when you outline the situation, give the context, really share the problems and challenges you're facing, but also share your aspirations. In an ideal world, what do you want? What kind of results are you looking for? And then ask ChatGPT, hey, give me some ideas. What am I missing? You're going to find your results and the different things that it shares with you to be 10 times better than prompting for, give me a lesson plan that's a project for this English essay. So don't be afraid to create a longer prompt. Don't be afraid to provide more context. The more constraints you give it, this is where the beauty of AI is. Unlike a human, where the more challenges we have, the more burdens, the more frustrations, the more overwhelmed we feel, AI is the opposite. It actually can handle many, 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 many constraints, performs better under many constraints to give you the results you're looking for. All right, so now it is time to watch the newest member of your team give you these experiences. And again, this is where your back and forth are going to come in. I'll share links to these chats in the comments for you so you can dive deeper in them. But really, one of the things you can see here is we are going beyond the traditional curriculum. We are leaning into students' individuality and curiosity. And best of all, we don't have to do this work alone. By embracing AI tools like ChatGPT into our teaching, we are opening doors to a future where education is not just about imparting knowledge, that sage on the stage. It's really about building strong relationships, fostering a love for lifelong learning, and preparing our students for a future where they really stand out, not just for what they know, but for how they think, the things they share, the skills they have, and how they relate to the world around them. This is truly our chance to make teaching more enjoyable, more impactful, and more relationship driven. All right, so we took a look at strategic decision making and planning. We took a look at lesson planning and experience design. Now I want to get into the importance of prompts, because as you saw from the first 2 examples, being able to really zone in on what it is you're looking for is really, really important with these AI tools. Now, I know that the idea of crafting prompts for AI can initially seem a little bit daunting, but like with anything, practice makes perfect. So if you're new to prompting or you feel like these examples were like, whoa, then the last example, the one I'm going to do right now, is especially for you. Because I want to assure you that prompting is a key skill that once you're able to master it, opens up a world of possibilities. And like any other skill, like I said, you will become better with practice. It's why I created the Daily Spark. It's a daily podcast series where in just 5 minutes, you can look at how to strengthen your mindset to be more confident and comfortable with change using AI. And every single day, I share one prompt template that you can edit and use to build your skills. As James Clear shares in Atomic Habits, you only need to get 1% better a day, which is about spending 10 to 15 minutes on a task to be 37 times better at that task by the end of the year. You know, prompting is about more than just communicating with an AI tool like ChatGPT. It's about really being able to deeply understand the problem at hand, asking the right questions, and really applying your human insight to guide the AI's response and what it is you're trying to create. This is why at Designing Schools, we take a design thinking approach to AI integration where empathy, creativity, and strategic problem solving all come together to create what we hope is a human-centered AI world. Now, we all have entrepreneurial ambitions, but we don't always know when to start. So in this example, let's say that you want to start a blog or an online course. Maybe you have a passion and expertise to share, but the idea of starting just feels so overwhelming. And this is where Spark and AI tools like ChatGPT can help you break any idea down into very manageable steps. So let's take a look at this Spark example. Let's say in this example, your situation is, I have a deep passion for, and this is where you would insert your topic: sustainable living, digital marketing, education, whatever it is. And you have a wealth of knowledge in this space that you are excited to share. You're inspired to start a blog or an online course, but you feel really overwhelmed. It's exciting and it's filled with possibilities, but you just have no clue how to begin. And the problem is, it feels so daunting to take on this project. You have so many questions about content creation, choosing the right platform, engaging your audience, marketing, who's going to see and read your blog. It's just this crazy mix of excitement and fear. And you really worry about being lost in the midst of all these other people, not being able to reach people, and not having your blog not take off. But your aspiration or your dream is to create a blog or a course that's not only informative and engaging, but also resonates deeply with your audience. You know you have something magical to share and you just don't really know how. You want to share that expertise. You want to inspire other people. You want to cultivate a thriving community. You want this project to reflect both your personal passion and connect with people who have similar interests. The result that you're looking for is, you don't just want to launch something that's successful in numbers only, but you also really want to have an impact. You want a well-crafted blog or course with a clear, compelling narrative, a strong content plan, something that's going to help you stay organized, and a way to engage your audience. The ultimate goal is to establish a strong digital presence that fosters learning, growth, and community. So let's ask ChatGPT. I know there are a lot of aspects of this that I haven't considered. I'm super overwhelmed, especially when it comes to content creation. How do I begin? And is there anything that I haven't considered? And with that, we press enter and watch the magic happen. This truly, again, is one of, I feel like I say this all the time, but it truly is life-changing to have a tool like this, because so often we have these ideas, but like they say, anyone can have an idea. It's how you execute on that idea that makes a difference. And execution is really where most of us get stuck. And this is where AI excels. Not only can it tell you what the steps are, it can do many of the steps for you. So whereas on something like Google, you might go in and it might be like, okay, go to WordPress, or, create an email list, or, write this blog. You can be like, okay, ChatGPT, do that for me. And one of the reasons why this skill is really important right now is, even if it can't do what you need it to do to 100%, maybe it can do 20%. But guess what? 6 months from now, it's going to be able to do 40%. A year from now, it's going to be able to do 80%. And so by you constantly kind of moving in alignment with AI, parallel to it, not only are you seeing what its capabilities are, but you're building your skill set as well. And this is really the most important part about this. You want to be moving hand in hand with AI technology, not ignoring it. And then all of a sudden, a year from now, you're just so lost that you don't even know where to begin. Or worst of all, you've got to play catch up. A link to all of the prompts so that you can dive deeper into these will be in the comments right below. And of course, if you have any questions at all, always feel free to reach out. We have so many resources for you available over at designingschools.org. And I really hope that in this video, you've been able to see just how transformative these tools can be, from strategic planning and decision making to really changing the way we teach and learn, to even breaking down these big entrepreneurial ideas we have into manageable tasks. The potential is really limitless. Now, whether you are just starting out or whether you are looking to expand your AI skills, our workshops and our AI bootcamp are designed to empower you every step of the way. So like I said, don't hesitate to reach out. Bring the power of AI and human creativity to your own career and to your organization. Examples like these and learning the skill set is going to make you irreplaceable in the age of AI. I want you to comment and let me know, what are you doing? What are you trying, so that we can learn and share from each other? And thank you for joining me in this video. If there's examples that you would like to see, share them down below in the comments and I'll create a video just for you.